Good morning, everyone. It's Janet Wakeland here with a stroll through the new spring catalog and celebration brochure. A little bit of subliminal messaging. I found this cute little frame, and of course I had to put it in my studio, actually somebody called it a croffice, C-R-O-F-F-I-C-E. It's an office within your craft area, so I needed this in my croffice. Did a little updating to it. And then just real quick before we look at the catalog, I want to share with you a new tradition that I started a few years back in my crafting studio. A New Year's present to me. There's nothing better than a brand new ink pad. Yes, we can re-ink them, and that's definitely very cost savings. But if you've ever opened a new ink pad, it's kind of like a new car and that new car smell and all of that goodness, right? So a couple years back, I started the year, started a tradition of starting the year with a brand new Versamark pad and a brand new Memento pad. So I'll be opening these later today and kick-starting my crafting time here in the studio for 2024. So what we're looking at today is we're going to look at the mini catalog. We're going to take a little stroll through it, show you how this is more than a catalog. It's actually an idea book. It's that source of inspiration, knowledge about your products. It's a little notebook all in one. So the catalog and then celebration just launched. So all of the products in this catalog will be available through April. And then everything here is a gift option with qualifying purchase through February 29th. With celebration, every time you spend $50, you can choose something from here. That's before tax and shipping. You spend $100, 2 items. You spend $150, 3 items, and so on. There are a few larger items that, for example, like this bundle, that the pieces together you could pick with a $100 order. If your order is at $150 or more, in addition to the items from celebration, you would qualify for host dollars. And if your order is $300 or more, of course, you would get celebration. You would get host dollars, but you would get an additional $30 in host dollars. I know, confusing, but lots and lots of greatness. It's all spelled out in this little brochure. It's all spelled out under the What's New tab on my Stampin' Up! Online store. So we're going to set this aside for just a second, and we're going to jump in with this. Oh, real quick, Stampin' Up! Also has an annual catalog. And so the annual catalog is released once a year. The mini catalogs are released twice a year, okay? Celebration is once a year. Do you need the catalogs to shop? Absolutely not. But they're fun to have because of all of the things I'm going to show you here right now, okay? So if you live in the U.S. and need complimentary copies of these, just reach out to me via Facebook Messenger. Okay, so let's just jump right in. One of the things that I am notorious for doing is writing in my catalogs. I use them as a notebook. I go through them with several passes. Of course, when I first get it, I always start my catalog walkthrough from the back. How many of you start at the front and go front to back, or how many of you are like me and go back to front? Just go ahead and give that a shout out. I love to go back to front because I like icing on my cake, and I actually like the corner piece with lots and lots of icing. And for me, starting at the back, I get to see the embellishments, the ribbon, the paper, the things that I consider the icing. So I've always started back to front. That's just me. But then as I start to go through it, I'll just make notes, the first little random things that pop into my head about the product. And then I make several passes back through it very intentionally. You know, specifically, what do I already own that I can use it with? What occasions come to mind that I could use it with? What techniques can I use those products with? And then as a demonstrator, I'm also always looking for ways that I can use this to help with my business. So I'm making lots of notes, and I don't just do it in the beginning. If something comes up and pops up to me throughout the catalog season, I'll go back in and I'll write those notes into the catalog and things like that. So I love to make notes in my catalog. So if that's you, go ahead and grab a pen. You can always pause this video and come back. If you're watching replay again, pause it and come back, and you can make some of the notes right now as we start to talk. So right here in the beginning of the catalog, you're going to have a very brief table of contents. Really what it lists is just our comprehensive suites of products. And then it gives you some icons that are going to help you maybe identify things a little better in the catalog, and I'll explain those as we go. Throughout the catalog, you're going to see these full color samples. And while Stampin' Up! Does not provide us with step-by-step tutorials for all of the products, what they do provide us with is a supply list that tells us what supplies were used in the full color samples that you see in the catalog. That PDF of supplies will be in my next customer newsletter. So you're going to want to make sure you're on that newsletter to receive that PDF. That PDF can give you clues to maybe how something was made. And then the next piece of support to how something was made would be reaching out to me. And if I can't figure it out, I'll get help figuring it out, and we will get you on your way to duplicating samples that you want to recreate from here. So that's a little bit about the front. Again, full color samples spread throughout the catalog. Amazing inspiration. Then just a little bit about some different products that are available. In addition to the 3 catalogs a year, 3 times a year, Stampin' Up! Has what we call online releases. These online releases go direct to my online store. They do not end up in a print publication. It allows Stampin' Up! To stay flexible and get things out in between the print catalogs and be a little bit more timely and relevant. And you're going to see those releases in March, July, and November. So that means that you're going to have 6 product releases a year. That alone is a great reason to take advantage of that starter kit special right now, because demonstrators get early access to product from those releases. Then in addition, Stampin' Up! Has different types of kits. We have our kit collection that is not a subscription, okay? These are kits that are available in my online store while supplies last. Some of them are replenished, and some of them, based on popularity and availability from the manufacturer, are definitely while supplies last. Beginning this month, beginning today, Stampin' Up! Is releasing 2 new kits a month. And there are different kits. There are card kits, there are craft kits. Depending on the kit, you are going to have ink spots, the little ink spots that you see here and that are oh so handy. You'll have a little clear block to get you started, and then you'll have everything that you need to complete the project scene. Full color instructions, some of them have links to videos, and you're going to have a little storage box. The benefit of these kits are that they're a great jumping off point if you're somebody that just sometimes needs a little kickstart to get the creativity rolling. If you're somebody who likes to create without owning a craft studio and having all kinds of craft supplies to organize. If you've got some budding crafters, if you're like me and you like to craft on the go, so when we're doing long road trips or I'm spending extra time at my dad's house, then I like to have a kit, and this is easy to grab and go because it has everything in it except for a pair of scissors. They make great gifts for crafters, so there's lots of ways that these kits can be used. So keep your eye on them. They have their own tab in my Stampin' Up! Online store. And then we have a program called Paper Pumpkin, which is a subscription kit program. And you'll see a post about that tomorrow with the upcoming next 3 months here on my Facebook page. So I mentioned suites, and Stampin' Up! Has what we call suites of products. We have bundles, we have dies, we have punches, we have stamp sets, both cling mount and photopolymer stamps. We have embellishments, we have paper. So we have all different kinds of product. In a suite, what you're going to find is a beautiful collection of products that are very cohesive to give you a very polished, finished look. It's put together by our artisans who helped design the products in the suite. And you're going to have an easy I want it all button. If you say, oh my gosh, I like everything, then you have an I want it all button. If not, you may want just the bundle, the stamp, and whether it's a die or a punch. Or maybe you just want the single elements. Maybe you just want the paper, or you just want the embellishment. Everything can be ordered individually. The nice thing is that our bundles have a built-in 10% savings. So that means within the suite, you're going to get to take advantage of that bundled savings. The other hallmark of Stampin' Up! Is its color coordination. Here underneath of the big photos for our suites, you're going to see the coordinating colors from the papers listed. And you're going to find that Stampin' Up! Has inks and cardstock and markers and embellishments and ribbons and all kinds of cool things that coordinate, again, within our product line. That's going to give you a chance to shop in your PJs. You don't have to get dressed and run all over town looking for coordinated pieces. It's going to save you time, again, as you can shop from just one site online versus hopping around, a whole bunch of different sites, and then when it shows up at your door, hoping that it coordinates and not having to deal with the return. We know that it's all going to coordinate. So just a quick review for you. Here's the beautiful papers. And in addition, even though it has all these colors, I have found that oftentimes there's additional papers that we have that coordinate within the suite. So in this case here, we can see that petal pink shimmer paper coordinates really well. And then in terms of what I talked about note making, like here I have a note to myself, Valentine, anniversary, love ya, friend. It's going to pair well with the fluffiest friends stamp set. The reverse side of this paper has some beautiful papers that just don't feel like Valentine's. So you're going to get that added versatility. Made a little note to myself about the box here that it is pre-scored and has adhesive on it. And then just a couple quick cute samples done with the products from this suite. So you can see those fun samples. Okay, moving along, let's just keep going. And then you're gonna see the whole suite together. And then when you flip it over, you're going to see just the bundle. And again, available individually, just the stamps or just the dies. And they're all shown at full size. If you want to know how big the bee's body is going to be, the wings, the little buzz trail, whatever it is, they're shown full size. In addition, this 2-page spread is a good representation of the shading that you will see behind some of the images. If it has a white shading behind it, it means that there's a coordinated punch. In addition, fine print is always important, even though most of us ignore fine print quite often. But underneath here in the fine print, it will tell you what it coordinates with, okay? And it will tell you the suggested size blocks. There will be an AC if what it coordinates with is something from the annual catalog, not in here, okay? In this case, you've got kind of a vanilla shading. That means that it coordinates with a die set, okay? So just some fun stuff for you. Here we have our mailbox bundle. And the notes I made for myself was, that it coordinates with the Stamped with Love stamp set. It's great for including gift cards inside of. When you look at the dies, you're going to see some dark black lines. Those are lines that are score lines. So just some fun little notes to yourself. This is a fun kind of a build it up kind of project. You can keep this real flat if you want. You don't have to make it folded over. And in this case, I put a little dollar in it. And of course, you can always just use all the other elements separate. Quite a few of these, actually like 30 videos were done featuring product from this catalog. You can find them either under the word more, media, or if you've got like a mobile device, it would be the 3 little dots. And all of my videos that I've done so far, and like I said, there's over 30 of them, are up under that tab for you. And I go through a lot more details. This one here on page 12 has a coordinating celebration choice. So it does have a stamp set that coordinates with that from the celebration brochure. It's this beautiful heartfelt hellos. Sorry about that. And so we've got that. For here, this is a card that's going to be interactive. This is not one that I've shown you yet. I will within the next week, so you want to stay tuned for that. But in addition, it's got the words like pull and open here because it's supposed to, you pull a piece and reveal a message underneath. But these words pull and open here, you can create any type of interactive card, not just with the dies. And we have an adapter for our U-Pick tool that does perforations. So you can go off-road and create your own type of peekaboo cards. And we have those words pull and open here for that. This is another one of our suites, our Forever Love Suite. This suite has a vanilla base. All of our other ones have a white base, so you would be working with basic white as your neutral, and in this case, it has a vanilla base on the flip sides. Now, the front sides don't have any neutral, so you could still use your white. You can see the different shimmers, all the fun different papers that are part of that one. And Here, I did a great video showing you how to use these elements as stamps, because here's the die cut, but look what happens when you create stamps with your die cuts using really thin foam. So you can also turn them into dies. So something fun, and I had a video for you on that. Here are the beautiful note cards that are gold foiled that are part of that. You've got some foiled embellishments that are great. Other types of notes, like I made a note to myself, vanilla base. I'll write 12 by 12. Sometimes I'll write the pricing in. Here I wrote modern label, modern oval. It'll go inside. It's not the full size, but it'll go inside. And then if you look throughout the catalog, you're going to find hints that the dies cut the designer paper. So you're going to get added value from your craft vestment or investment. I call it a craft vestment. When you have dies sets that don't just cut the stamped image, but can cut pieces from the paper and then have fun bonus pieces like this 2 frame. So I'm always looking for that added value. Okay, so that was those samples, just trying to keep everything straight. And this was, again, that bundle. Here's the the Delicate Forest bundle. Look how just beautiful. No layering, no nothing, just a beautiful, simple card done with the tree here. This little tiger is Jungle Pals, and that is an option from Celebration. Same with the, this paper here is from the Just Kidding. So things really cross-coordinate across like stamp sets, papers, everything within the Stampin' Up! Product line. So I love that. And we've got the little tree here using the archway that's part of that. And then here we brought our sea turtles in and used some of the floral pieces to create the seagrass that's growing on the bottom of the ocean. This stamp set here would be a good one to pair with your garden grove, your meandering garden papers, and then any type of little critters that love to live in the forest, close to trees, jungles as well, so you can create kind of that pretty outdoorsy scene. I gave you a list of my 10 must-haves this morning, or my top 10 picks, the things that I absolutely love. And within those top 10 picks, number one, if I didn't have this, I would be joining to get the glass mat. But because I'm a demonstrator and I have it, my number one absolute favorite product in the catalog is this right here, this suite, this hybrid bundle with the greeting and the words. I did a video showing you that, yes, you can ink it up with a brayer, but other ways that you can add color to it and things. And greetings are just such a fun, nice way to add just a little extra. And when they're embossed, look how much fun that is, guys. And so greetings are always a good way to breathe life back into older stamp sets that you have sitting in your collection. So that's something that I love to do, is just to add those greetings. And what you're going to be able to do is emboss and cut, or you can alter them in all different ways with color and embossing powder. So all kinds of fun ways that you're going to be able to alter that. Also on this page, and I didn't put it on my top 10, but it would probably be like number 11, is not so much the stamp set, but this other hybrid bundle here. There's always lots of occasions to use hearts for, and simply just having a heart would help you with Valentine's, right? You don't need the word "be my Valentine" or whatever, just having a few hearts. And this just makes a load of hearts and fun heart type cards. And it does have some coordinating paper in the Celebration brochure. So this one here is congratulations, I adore you. So again, you're going to be able to do some fun stuff. And it does have some beautiful paper that's going to coordinate with it. You've got some beautiful gold foiling on one side. Only one has hearts. So, you know, you've got over half the papers that don't have hearts, okay? You're going to be able to do a lot with this paper. So that's a great bundle as well. And again, I have videos for both of those. Then we have this beautiful one here where the wild ferns grow. And just two samples here for you. Again, just using different colors and playing around, keeping it simple again, right onto paper. And this one has some corner pieces that you're going to be able to do a 3D piece kind of around the corner, or you can cut those pieces apart however you want to use them. But again, here's an example of those. I call them bonus pieces. You've got 3 longer rectangles that are going to cut a rectangle that the greetings will fit on. But rectangles, to me, anything that's like a circle, a square, a rectangle, an oval, all of those are basic shapes that work so often to layer a stamped image, a stamped greeting. So you've got some great bonus pieces in here. This stamp set Wild Ferns also pairs well with the Delicate Forest that I just showed you, with the Grove set, as well as with our Timeless arrangements. So a nice set that pairs with quite a bit on this one. And here we have our Perennial Lavender Suite. And if you love purples, you love lavender, this is going to be the suite for you. And this suite, as well as the Nature Sweetness are my favorite suites. I just love all of the elements that are part of this suite. So we've got our beautiful colors, and in this case, I mean, look at all the coordinating cardstocks and colors that you can bring into this suite. In addition, you're going to have these big paper butterflies, and I'll show you at the end. This is on my top 10 list. You get 40 butterflies, 8 of each size. They are white on both sides, which means that you can flip your butterfly flying in different directions. It can face left, it can face right? And there's lots of ways that you can change the colors, whether you spritz them, blend them, smush them into an ink pad, smush them into Versamark and emboss them. Lots of fun stuff that you can do with them. And then as part of this bundle, this is I call it a super bundle. Here in Louisiana, we have crews. They're who manage the parades. And we have something called Super Crews. They are the really big nighttime parades with all of the lights and the bells and whistles, and they're huge. So this is a super bundle. And you've got 2 stamp sets, 2 sets of dies that are part of that. And I'm going to flip this, just it's easier to talk about. So you've got all these beautiful florals that you're going to be able to use. But here with the perennial postage, you have all these postage stamp, they call it that because of the edge that's on it. So you've got all these rectangles, 1 square. You've got these fun little elements that will turn the top of that postage stamp image into a tag. And then so many great greetings. I used this Love Beyond Measure with the Trusty Tools. You Mean the World to Me, I used with the World stamp. Sending love and best wishes, of course, is great for Valentine's or anything to do with hearts. And the other thing about this set of dies is I also sometimes don't buy the bundle. I know I can save 10%, but are you really saving money if you buy something you don't need, right? Or will never use? So I know sometimes it's tempting to save 10%. And if you're going to use them, then heck yeah, we want to save 10%. But if you're not going to use both pieces of the puzzle, of the bundle, then definitely look to see if it would work alone. And in this case, these postage stamp dies totally work on their own, okay? So that's something else that I look for because I don't always buy the full bundle. This is one that just arrived at the house, so you're going to have to like and subscribe to my page and stay tuned as I bring more of the products to life for you. And I'm going to use this just to give you a little, what do you want to call it, public service announcement. I used to always tell my team and my customers that, Easter's a few weeks off. It's 2 months off or whatever. Or Father's Day is all the way in June. Buy what you're going to use now. Stampin' Up, like any other company, is working to manage inventory, dealing with all of the changes from COVID over shipping times and all of that kind of stuff that we've been all dealing with. And so now what I tell people is, if you want something, get it now. Always prioritize your must-haves, okay? That was my top 10 list. That's why this just arrived, okay? So if there's something that's a must-have, and yes, if your thought is Father's Day in June, I would still get it now, okay? As well as the benefit of rewarding yourself with celebration choices. So I've changed my tune a little bit. I even do that now. I used to, put things in my Amazon cart and I'd sit on it for a little bit and then it would be gone. The price would change. Things would happen. Now, we don't change prices like that, but a lot of times we'll put things on our shopping cart and then, we walk away from it. We come back and go, oh, darn. So I don't do that anymore, okay? If I want it, I get it now. So looking at this Easter set, the notes that I have to myself for when I start to play with it is that, I'm going to pull out the Hey Chuck set because of the roosters and the chickens. I'll pull out the Bunny Punch and pair that together. And then we've got a couple of dies in some of our sets that make a cool grassy edge. So I'll pull those out. And so that's my initial notes. We'll see how all that changes. I forgot to pull the, oh, I got a different pile here. Let's back up here for a second. So here's the perennial lavender samples. Sorry about that. We kind of got to going crazy here for a minute. Let me put that out. And here's a fun card with those paper butterflies. And then the reverse image, okay? We die cut the square out, and the relief piece that was left is what we used on this card. I did a video on this and I didn't pull the samples, I apologize. But again, this is another basic set that doesn't cut the shapes, okay? So you're gonna need to fussy cut if you want these to be 3D. These stand alone, and these are amazing. They have little dots around them. They are great, and if I come across a card that I have here to showcase for you, I will pull it out. But some of the fun notes I made to myself the moment I saw these dots, I was like, ooh, I wonder if I can weave thread through them. I wonder if I can put 2 pieces through and use that to hold my bow down. And on some of my cards, I ended up doing just that. I was totally intrigued by all the dots that this one left behind. Continuing on, the flower cart. This was one that usually is a little more fussy than I personally like, but I was totally intrigued by the 3D cart and all of the possibilities of making it look very different. And so we had a little bit of fun with that. So here we just did the clay pots. This is the perennial lavender elements. And then we just did a grouping of pots. And here for this one, you can see that we did blues and flowers. I did some that had little ice cream cones in them. I did some carts that had hearts in them for Valentine's. And there's different ways that you can put this cart together. So for me, the more notes on a page, believe it or not, most likely the more value that set has to me financially, because I've already got all these different ideas for how I'm going to use that stamp. And for me, the more ways that I can use something, the more other products I can use it with, the more tools that I have, you know, my painting brushes, blends, all of that kind of stuff, the more value that new investment has in my studio. So then moving on, we have this really kind of fun cotton candy looking beautiful pastel paper. So a whole different look. Great variety in this catalog, guys. And this is our lighter than air. This paper is 6 by 6. Here you can see a lot of times, again, I make a note to myself what the price is per piece. Depending on the paper, as a demonstrator, I'll also price out, you know, per inch, per 12 inches, per yard, per 4 by 6, things like that, just to help me so that when I'm pricing out classes for you guys, I have that information there for myself. These dots are amazing. They are next to the hearts and flowers, one of my favorite embellishments, I think, of all time, just because of the sheer colors. I mean, you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 8 different colors of dots, okay? So lots and lots of variety with that one. Lots of possibility as well here. So you're going to have lots of great cards. And all of the cards I'm showing you as well, I am steadily adding to an album here on my Facebook page. If you click on photos, then albums, and it'll be labeled 2024 Spring and Celebration. I think there's almost 70 samples in there loaded already for you. Continuing on, this one here is a great fun one. You've got a modern label punch that can punch the center out. In this case, I replaced it with designer paper and then put It's a Good Day, brought in some elements from our Bright Skies. So I had a little bit of fun with that one. So again, possibilities while it mixes and matches. Also, as you're going through the catalog, look for this little pin. It's like one of those stick pins that you put in a corkboard. It's going to have different tips and things through you. So that's another value of this catalog. You won't find these tips in the online store. Again, those coordinations. So look in the corners. A lot of times our eyes are drawn right to a certain image, and then we miss things that are tucked up in the corner. Stampin' UP really takes advantage of the real estate on a catalog page. Okay, they really go for that. Other types of notes I'll make to myself, like here is a card I want to case. I want to copy and selectively edit, copy and share enthusiastically exactly as it is, but I'll make those type of notes to myself as well. This one has a heart-shaped balloon, so you have that added bonus of a heart. Again, we're always looking for hearts. Here we have, and I've snuck these little pieces in on some of the other cards. I didn't pull them yet. But this is a great set. This is by one of our $1 Million Achievers. When you reach $1 million in sales as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, you get to design a stamp set. It is such an honor, and it is such an exciting thing to do. And this is a great set that you're going to want to use for journaling, for your day planners, for tags, tiny little extra greetings on your cards, for memory keeping, lots of possibilities with it. In addition, I look at the camera and the smile. We've got some really great animals in our zoo critters, our zoo crew papers, and there's quite a few elements in here. So I have a note to myself about the zoo crew. And then in this one I'm going to show you here in a minute, there's a little tab. And again, pairing that little tab die with these, and you can put tabs on your planners or different things like that, your catalogs. So then we have our ice cream. And it's not just ice cream. You have some different berries in it. You also have donuts, and donuts, I love donuts more than ice cream. You have a ice cream cone that cuts on a fold. So it's going to make a fold over cone. This is going to be a great set for all of the sweet tooth people in your life, as well as for party decor and tags and fun things like that. Sticking in some gift cards to their favorite little ice cream shop. So again, this one was one of the ones I kicked the showcase off with. And it was really hard for me to stop playing with because there were so many ways to alter it and to color it, and to actually just use designer paper to give you some really cool ice cream. Of note, the painted folder that is in the annual catalog looks like frosting, okay? So if you're doing any kind of cake, any kind of ice cream, the painted folder is absolutely something to look for. And then quite a few people have decided that this looks like the poo emoji. So you could have a little bit of fun with that if you've got people that have a warped sense of humor. I have a couple of people that I know I could use this as the poo emoji for. This also has coordinating celebration papers. And we'll look at all of the celebration papers together at one time at the end here in just a second. This one here, I just did a video on for you guys. This is a very unique bundle in that there are 3 elements to this bundle. You have the stamps, you have the dies, and then you have stencils. You can use just the stamps all by themselves, okay? The dies are kind of hard to use by themselves because of this shape here. You could, of course, get this as a bundle, so just the stamps and the dies. And then you have the mask. The mask work together to add color and dimension to the stamped image. Stamp it in black on cardstock, and then use the mask to give you that beautiful coloring. So if you're not comfortable with shading with blends or watercoloring techniques, then this would give you a great opportunity to have that look, but not having to use those techniques. And then this card here was simply done just with the mask, and it gives you a really soft watercolor look. So don't overlook this one, and make sure you check out my video for all of the fun different ways that we put these masks together. It's one of the reasons why it's on my top 10. Real quick, here's that little tiny tab piece in Nature's Sweetness. I love the colors in this. I'm more of a fall girl in terms of my color schemes and colors that I like. And then I love that it's got this old book paper, grids. It's just got all kinds of cool stuff. And then it's got the gold foiling on it. So that's another reason why this is one of my top 2s. Something else about our dies is pay attention. Some of them actually cut and emboss. So they'll add this beautiful texture while cutting out a shape and an image for you. For me, I'm always inspired by the catalog images. Something as simple as how they knotted this ribbon took me down a rabbit hole. I was like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Then there's a die here that has holes in it that you can weave through, or it's got a perforated line down the middle and you can tear to give you a notebook edge. So it was interesting. One of the cards that you guys all fell in love with when I posted and shared it was this one. And I talked to you about the tip that's on this card, and it's got dies layered on the back, and you guys just all loved this card. And it's from the catalog. It was a direct copy of this image. Well, kind of, sort of, because, you know, like tipping it just a little bit, whatever, but it was close enough, okay? And so that's the other value of the catalog, is the inspiration that's inside of it. And then the other thing is every now and then you'll find a piece in a stamp set, and here in this case it's these little dots, that you're going to use over and over again. I know some people don't like to necessarily separate their stamps out, but this little dot here, I actually did pull out and put on a block and kept it on my desk for over a week. Just playing around with it, having so much fun adding those little extra sprinkles. So here's the cards in real life, and here's those little extra sprinkles that one adds. Here's that card that everybody loved, and here's that idea of creating a tone-on-tone 3D background with dies. And then here, just to show you the little tab. Isn't that fun? That's another one of those dies. You're going to use that set over and over again just for that die. And I will confess, I have been known to buy a stamp set or a set of dies for just one piece that's in it. And I know that's pricey and an expensive thing to do, but I should keep a tab on how many times I use it to see what its cost per use was. Because every now and then I do find value in doing something like that. Memories and More. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. This is the best set we have ever had. The colors in it are fresh. They're beautiful. The sentiments are beautiful. What this is this is a set of 4x3 cards and 4x6 cards. Okay, you can see them here. That you can then use to create cards. I did a framed piece. I did a gift packaging with them. You can use them for little card inserts if you want to put a note inside a card and leave a card so that somebody can repurpose that card. Instead of writing direct inside, you can slip a little message like this in. You can use them as a whole card. You can cut them apart. Use them for pocket scrapbooking. Use them for traditional scrapbooking. But they are just so fun to work with. In addition to the 4x3 and 4x6 cards, you have some really fun self-adhesive elements that you can use. You can also cut the cards apart. In this case here, okay, I cut the cards apart. You can also cut them down to a traditional A2 card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, have them fit that way. So, oh my goodness gracious, guys, these are amazing. And I'm 99% positive they're on my top 10 list, okay? Doggies, my 2 dogs here at the house would have had a fit had I not picked the dogs. Any of your pet lovers are going to love this background stamp. It's one large stamp that covers the back. And I, again, have a video for you on this, giving you some ideas on different ways to use this. Here in this case, we just added some color to the doggos. I just hand cut a little triangle. We used a greeting. In this case, I put, with the blending brushes, 4 different colors on the image, and we did a card for Dad, shaker cards, partial cards, cards for your dog groomer, cards for doggy daycare, cards for the vet, pet lovers. Some of you I know work at different rescue centers. So it would be really cool for those of you that work at the rescue center to sell cards out at the desk or something like that, and raise some funds for your organization. So that would be a possibility for you. And then just some other ideas. You can see how some people kind of real detailed got in and cut just specific images out for you. See what I'm talking about when I say things are just tucked down in the corner? This is definitely on my top 10 list. I love alphabet dies, and especially when they're sized to work on cards, because now I can add fun words and very specific greetings to cards if I don't have the right sentiment, or I want something, for example, here the word thanks just pops on that card. So pay attention to all those corners, guys, okay? This is our Just Kidding suite. And this was a suite that I explained to people that normally would not have jumped out at me. I don't have any young nieces or nephews. I don't have any grandbabies yet. And so this is not one that would have jumped out at me, but I always like to challenge myself. And so this was one that turned out to be way more fun than I ever thought it would be. I have a list still of probably 10 or 15 ideas that I want to put together with this paper. So I did do a video on it for all of you guys. Ignore the colors. I didn't get those added to this one, but it does use all the colors that you see here on it. And one of the ways that I found helps me, and I'm going to use this technique now on other papers, was instead of looking at the whole paper as one sheet and being overwhelmed by all of the images on it, I started fussy cutting and die cutting images out and just looked at the image. And that's what then sent me down my rabbit hole and really just totally changed my opinion of this set. Here's an example for you. We cut the little girl out of the paper. We put the little graduation cap on her. This is the rock and roll paper. This is the trusty tool papers. And she has a little bunch of books in her arms, like, you know, she's going to school. That's where all the inspiration came from. And then this is another image that we cut out of the paper. She's holding a little puppy. So then we paired her with the sweet dogs that you just saw. And then this one was inspired by this card, but doesn't look anything like it. So just playing with the different elements. The Make-A-Wish is from the ice cream set. So all that cross pairing, guys, is going to add so much value to what you add. And then I'll make notes about certain dies. In this case, there's a banner piece. And of course, banners work on so many different products. So to know that there's a banner piece. And sometimes I find it easier to grab my catalog and use this as a reference tool for what's in my studio, okay? Best family ever. So as I find things, or when I spot you guys using a sample online that pairs really well, I'll come back to my catalog and make a note about it. It's better than kind of standing there and just looking and looking and looking at what I have on the shelf going, I wonder if that'll work. Using this as a reference tool really does work for me. So then we have our Bright Skies, and this does have some coordinating paper, and did I pull samples? Hold on, let's see where we're at. Let me flip over for just a second. Oh, so no, I didn't pull samples for this one. But again, you're going to have some really fun. We've got some really cool rubber boots that are in the Garden Memories kit. Anything that works with sunshine, we have a great background stamp that's called Rays of Light. Brighter skies are on their way. You're going to see a beach set in a minute. I can't wait to do that pairing. And again, I mentioned it has celebration papers. Lots of elements. Again, in this case, okay, you have dies that just stand alone, totally work by themselves. You don't need to add them with the stamp set. Now, the stamp set is absolutely great, and you're going to be able to cut from the paper and cut some of the dies. But just looking at the stamps or the dies alone, they work well by themselves, okay? The other thing here is, as I was looking at this, you know, the Hope set in the annual catalog, the rain, all the cute little critters playing in the rain, and I believe the stamp set is called Playing in the Rain. And then there's another stamp set called Just My Type, and it has a beautiful greeting about rainbows, and it's a perfect pairing with this set as well. Then our submarine. My hubby was a Navy submarine officer. I got my officer and a gentleman moment. And so I had to have this submarine. So lots of fun little beach critters for those who like snorkeling, some cute greetings, and then some definitely cross coordination with our beach set, with the turtles, with the kids set that we just saw. So you're going to have some fun cross coordination. This waves are from the Bright Skies. It has, if you turn it this way, it's meant to create clouds. Can you see the clouds? I turned it this way to create waves, okay? This was a die that just retired. If you missed out on it, I do have a set for sale. And it does some wavy patterns as well as these round circles. So we use them to put all the sweet little critters into. And then I think this has probably been one of the most popular based on feedback, based on what everybody's talking about, based on the number of views of the video of this set in particular. And since I posted that set, I have learned how to reverse the body. Thank you to, and I'm going to forget who shared it with me, but one of you shared that tip back with me. So I so appreciate that. I will be doing another video, a real quick little, 2 to 3 minute tip on reversing the body. But in this case, you have a punch, you have lots of different cows, and then I love puns. So of course, right away, my brain went to, oh, you're my other half. You're moveless, heard you're moving, I love moo, and oh, you've been so moody lately. You could just have some fun. It has a great holy cow stamp, love you more. So we did a little cow Valentines. Here we did a little baby cow, just showing you some other options. And there we go. Dancing little baby, paired it with some baby things. Here, just to showcase the alphabet as well, we did muchas gracias and paired it with the Taco Fiesta set. And then again, showing you that alphabet, heard I missed your birthday, and then just a chance to showcase some of the different faces and ways that the cows can look and all of that kind of stuff. So we definitely had some fun with the cows with that. Then with the rock and roll, in this case, the only thing that I added to my collection from this suite was the paper and the embellishments, because the embellishments, while they're, you know, kind of designed to be kind of that rock and roll feeling, they also worked with the bright sky and all of our weather related stamps and things like that. Heard you're under the weather and things like that. And it's got white, and anything that's white can easily be altered, or lighter pastels with Stampin' Blends, even Sharpie markers we can change the color of. And so I had some fun showing you all the different ways that you can alter black and white paper and how valuable black and white paper can be to you. Here we paired it with the sparkling, I don't think it's soda, but sparkling set. We just colored the top half of the paper. It's not two different papers, and just made a birthday wishes. Here we added some spritz color on and turned it into a Valentine. And then we took the time to color all of the elements. And there is a set in the annual catalog. I want to say it's Troublemaker or something like that. But it does have like a drum set. It has a guitar. It has some other sentiments as well. That if you do have a rocker in your family and you're buying the whole bundle, make sure you don't miss that stamp set in the annual catalog, because it does pair really well. The tool set, oh my gosh, guys, I didn't know there were so many ways to use dies. We have a product called two-step stamps, where you stamp one stamp and then you add another color to give you a beautiful finished look. Well, these are like two-step dies. So you're going to easily be able to add, because of the way the dies are, foil or a second color to them. So you're going to have so many possibilities with this stamp set. A lot of the dies cut a ton of the shapes out of the designer paper. The designer paper is a celebration option. And yes, it's got Happy Father's Day, Dad, but then it has You're the Most Awesome, which could be for anybody, and Thank You, which could be for anybody. And then I look at the measuring tape and I think of sewing and crafting, paintbrush, I think of artists and things like that. So you're definitely going to be able to have some fun pairing it with other products. And I do in my videos show you some of the different ways to assemble them and use them. It's going to be a great set that you're going to want to have brads on hand for that little extra dimension, as well as for creating some things that move and work for you. And then just to show you again, you can go totally, you know, not even looking like, you know, Father's Day or something like that. So here's that alphabet set again for you. And then graduations. Graduations happen pretty much year round. You'll have your spring and winter graduations, and then you have graduations from preschool, kindergarten, elementary. You've got junior high, high school, college, trade schools. You have your masters, your PhDs, lots of graduations. So for those of you that just have littles right now, this set could get you through 7 graduations, and you can have a lot of fun with this graduation set. I've been sticking that little hat on everybody. So everybody's wearing it instead of a birthday hat in different samples. This paper underneath of this is the rock and roll paper. It's what kind of gives you that broken white and black look between. There's those really cool thoughtful moment dies. And then here's the graduation. And of course we had to make it pop because you're throwing the cap off. And then we have some dies there. So also a great set for scrapbooking. This is another set that just arrived at the house. I was waiting to see how I would get through all the other sets and playing with it, but this one just arrived, so you'll be seeing a video of beach days. And I love to walk on the beach. Don't make me sit on the beach all day though. And I love to jump waves, play in the water, snorkel, all of that kind of stuff. So that was another reason why I kind of waited on this just a little bit. But the more I played with other sets, you know, the bright skies, the ray of light, even the submarine, I thought of ways that I could incorporate this stamp set. So I definitely just got that one. Oh, guys, I did not think I would like this set at all. I didn't, I'll be honest. But I bought it so that as a demonstrator who does this as a business, I had it to showcase for you guys. And now I'm in love with it. The papers are just this gorgeous, dainty, beautiful prints. They have such a great variety. They're helping me use up my in colors, and I do love the Moody Mauve, the Wild Wheat. I love all of this year's in colors, so it's perfect for that. But then let's just talk about the dies, Okay, we've got all these labeled dies, and these dies here, the value of these dies is amazing. And then the hummingbird. So let's start first. Where in the world would I be without you is a greeting from right here. And we paired that with the map, and then there's the elements. Then we have that hummingbird. And this will be the very first card that we do next Monday when we launch our Make It Mondays. I'll make anywhere from 1 to 3 cards from total start to finish instead of just showing you like them. You know, we'll cut the paper, we'll do the coloring, we'll glue them down, we'll do it all together. So this will be one of the first cards featured in the Make It Monday series. A lot of you asked about that. And then wait till you see the wreath that I made using this flower concept. So much fun. And just a tone on tone. I wanted the emphasis to be on the flower, so we kept the hummingbird tone on tone in this case. But this are these dies. So again, lots of opportunity, right? So again, looking for those types of things when you see others creating them, when you're creating them, shaker cards. And a little tip, you know, here the opening is not done with a circle or a square, it's actually done with the die. And you're going to see that with the balloons and a couple of others in the catalogs where they use, I call it the relief image. It's what's left. I guess there may be another name for it, and if you know what it is, let me know. But that extra piece when you cut something out, using that shape for your dies. This one I haven't invested in yet, but it's on my list. I'm really intrigued by this mirroring effect. And I love the friendship of a pet is one of life's greatest gifts. This is one where the greeting alone is calling my name to add value back to my doggone background stamp. So this one's on the list, hasn't shown up yet. Stippled roses though, I love flowers. So again, this is one that had so many ways to color it and so many things to work with it. There's that beautiful paper from the Lavender Suite. And look how pretty it is with our 3-color glimmer paper. Isn't that gorgeous? So working with those things. And even though I don't have this one yet, you know, this one has celebration paper, I'm sorry. But even though I don't have this one yet, I still make notes on it because I don't know at what point I'll be ready to invest in it. So I don't make notes on just the ones that I like. I make notes on all of it. And a lot of times, again, that number of votes helps me make smart investments in my business. As you get back to the back after you've gotten through the main pages, you're going to have almost like an index, okay? All of the samples in the back are new samples. So don't just stop here. When you see these go, I've already seen the dies or the stamps. These are all new samples. They're not what you saw in the first couple of pages. So get back here and look at those, okay? So you're going to have all of the bundles put out for you. And then you're going to have just a little index of the stamps, the dies, our new folders that are there for you, the new papers, punches. So it's just a really great index. I mentioned the paper butterflies where there's 40 in a pack. And I just love them. I think that, again, there's something that's small and relatively inexpensive at $8 for 40 of them that you can enhance things that you already own. And here I just laid this down over top, sponged over it so that I have a white butterfly right on the cardstock, and then the one that I sponged over for the 3-dimensional. This is one of those postage stamp dies, okay? Here, it's the same butterfly, but because it's two-sided, it's white on both sides, it was very easy to flip. And another one of those postage stamp labels for you. And then just a tall, skinny one. And if you look at these butterflies, get them to catch the light real quick. They are gold. What I did was I just pressed them down into a Versamark pad and then sprinkled gold powder on them and heat embossed them. Again, another one of those postage stamps and some elements. Just because it's perennial lavender and lavender tends to be purples doesn't mean that you need to always use purple. In this case, I have Coastal Cabana and a little bit of gold to tie in our gold butterflies, and then some more of those postage stamps. So I mentioned the celebration brochure. Let me bring that in here for just a second. And you've already seen some of the samples as we've worked our way through, but you're going to have the Bright Skies paper that isn't just clouds and rain. It also has beautiful bright florals in it. The Hello is that cool hybrid embossing folder. So you're going to be able to choose that paper. There is a watermelon stamp set that you can, and it's what we call 2 steps. So it's got pieces that interact to give you the multiple colors on it. You have the the Flight and Airy paper. Hands down, based on all of your comments on the page, this one here is very, very popular. It doesn't coordinate with any of the other products, but it works with all of them. I mean, it doesn't coordinate with a very specific product, okay? But it coordinates with so many. The birds are easy to cut out. You've got some great samples, and it is beautiful. You've got a baby set that you can pick. You have the softly stippled. This is my go-to paper. It would be my first pick from Celebration, followed by the Flight and Airy. If I had the budget of spending $100, those would be my first 2 picks. Again, down in the cracks, don't miss. Look for this word free, okay, in the little circle. Don't miss these embellishments. You have that Most Adored paper that I showed you already. And then clues to how some of the things were created and just inspiration and ideas again as well. This one here would be my 3rd pick. Just because I love greetings, and this one has such a nice variety. It has something for Dad and Mom and Easter, generic hello, enjoy your day, and love you more. There is the tool paper. So if you are buying the bundle, that might be your first pick. Then we have the Jungle Pals. So that was a lot of fun as well. Then we have this bundle, and we have the Dogwood stamp set. So those are all choices that you can pick with a qualifying order. And then this glass mat is got a $60 value. You can choose that with our demonstrator kit. Our demonstrator kit includes $125 in product for $99 with free shipping. So now that $99 will get you $125 in product of your choice, the glass mat studio, and free shipping for $99. In addition, you'll be able to order from yourself, be your own best customer, which I've done for 27 years, and enjoy a 20% order discount. What's really cool is, as a demonstrator, I enjoy an order discount. And say you need a $50 order to qualify for this stamp set. So when my order hits $50, I'm going to qualify for that. My discount, however, is going to lower that $50. So I'm not paying $50. I am earning this on $50, but I'm not paying $50. And I love that Stampin' Up! Does that with their celebration rewards, with their host rewards, and things like that. There is technically no obligation to just get the kit. You don't ever have to shop from yourself. You don't ever have to have parties. You don't ever have to do videos. You don't ever have to talk about Stampin' with anybody else. You don't ever have to do anything. You can truly get the deal and walk away, right? And especially after March. You can order from yourself till March, and at the end, you can say, you know what, that was fun. My craft studio's full, we're good. But after March, if you do decide that you like the perks, the exclusivity of things offered to you with that starter kit from being on my team, then Stampin' Up! Does ask that you have $300 in sales and or purchases a quarter. Again, everything that I buy for myself counts towards commissions, overrides. During Celebration, demonstrators are earning product credit for a free product. So it counts towards that. And again, it always counts at full retail, not what I pay. So choice, get the kit, do nothing with it. Enjoy an amazing, great deal. Get the kit and at least be your own best shopper. So any questions at all about anything that I showed, let me know. Don't forget that there are 2 great resources for you. One is under the video tab, over 30 videos with tips, ideas, and products. Under the photo tab, the album that I'm starting to build is under that photo tab. And then this Facebook page, like and follow it for new videos weekly coming up, different fun challenges, ways to win prizes throughout the month. And then the 4th one is my newsletter. In my newsletter, I add about 20 PDF tutorials every single month. My newsletter is free to everyone, public, demonstrators, no matter where you live globally. You're welcome to be on my newsletter. Everyone is welcome. I'm an open book with sharing, so you're more than welcome to be on that. So those are 4 resources that I have for you. So hit that like and follow button, guys, and happy shopping. And I look forward to welcoming those of you who take Stampin' Up! On this glass mat offer right now. Thanks, guys.